A very good evening and welcome to Prime TV News, coming to you live and direct from the Prime TV studios with me, Abrar Abid. Now, before we go into our stories in detail, let's take a look at our headlines. A police committee to inquire complaints against Badiuddin, Hizbullah and Asad Saleh. The President says all should work together with mutual understanding and contribute in ensuring the peace of the country. AJM Muzammil takes oaths as the Governor of the Western Province. Showery weather will continue. Trump and Queen hail bonds between the two nations. In our lead story, the police headquarters is ready to accept complaints against Rishad Badiuddin, MLAM Hizbullah and Asad Saleh. The police headquarters will entertain complaints from today to the 12th of this month. The complaints can be lodged in between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. during the period. A three-member committee of senior police officers has been appointed to investigate the complaints. In more local news, President Maithripala Sirisena says if conflicts arise due to different ethnicities, the country will be doomed and all should work together with mutual understanding and contribute in ensuring the peace of the country. He added that all should work with proper understanding and wisdom regarding the current situation that has emerged in the country. President Maithripala Sirisena made these remarks addressing the National Iftar ceremony held on behalf of the Islamic devotees at the President's house. A large number of Islamic devotees and Islamic leaders were present in this event. The President, who addressed the ceremony, further mentioned that until everyone is looking at each other with hatred and suspicion, there is no room for building national peace in the country. The extremists' and terrorists' activities have been totally rejected, and the government is contributing towards building a safe environment where all nationalities can live in peace with justice, mentioned the President. The President, referring to several issues faced by the Islamic community with regard to false rumors spreading that a number of Islamic people were remanded, said that he has already called for a report regarding that, and after the 21st April attack, the Muslims who were under custody for further questioning are 559. After the inquiries, steps will be taken to release those who do not have charges against them. The Islamic leaders appreciated the efforts taken by the President to safeguard the reputation and respect of all ethnicities and religions and to ensure justice to everyone. They expressed their gratitude to the President for his actions under the present difficult circumstances. AJM Muzammil was sworn in as the new Governor of the Western Province before President Maithripala Sirisena. He took oaths at the Presidential Secretariat. Muzammil has served as the Mayor of Colombo and the Sri Lankan High Commissioner in Malaysia. Meanwhile, newly appointed Air Force Commander Air Marshal D.L.S. Dias called on President Maithripala Sirisena at the President's office. The Air Force Chief met the President fulfilling customary after being appointed as the head of the Air Force. The President and the Commander of the Air Force exchanged mementos. The Met Department says southwest monsoon conditions are gradually establishing over the island. Therefore, showery and windy conditions are expected to continue. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in western, southern, central, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces. Several spells of showers will occur in Anuradhapura and Mannar districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at several places elsewhere, particularly after 2 p.m. Heavy falls, about 100 millimeters, can be expected at some places in Sabaragamuwa, central, western and northwestern provinces and in Gaul and Mathura districts. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. General public are requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning activity. The sea area extending from Kankisentherai to Pothuwil via Mana, Colombo, Gaul and Hambantota can be rough at times as the wind speed can increase up to 60 to 65 kilometers per hour. The leader of the Mahasohan Balakaya, Amit Veerasinghe, has been granted bail. Amit Veerasinghe was granted bail on 2 personal bails of 1 million rupees. He was remanded on the charges of violating law and order with the view of tarnishing peace and religious coexistence in the country. Amit Veerasinghe was produced before the Colombo Magistrates Court. The magistrate warned him not to engage in acts that cause public mobs and racial conflicts. Amit Veerasinghe was arrested for releasing certain content that is detrimental to reconciliation. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Bar Association has filed a fundamental rights petition before the Supreme Court demanding to implement law against the elements who meddle into investigations being carried out on the Easter Sunday terrorist attack. The Supreme Court today ordered to take up the petition on the 6th of this month. The Bar Association urged the Supreme Court to appoint a full bench on the case as it has implications on national interests. President's counsel Shamil Pereira informed the court that he will appear on behalf of the Colombo Archbishop, who has been named as a respondent of the case. Meanwhile, the travel ban, which has been imposed on parliamentarian Mahindananda Aludgamage, was temporarily lifted by the Colombo High Court today. The order was given on a request of Mahindananda Aludgamage to seek medical assistance in Singapore. Appeal Court Judge Janaka De Silva informed today that he will withdraw from the case filed against President of the Government Medical Officers Association, Dr. Anuruddha Padania, on contempt of court. The judge stated that he took the decision based on his personal interests. Hindu religious observances to mark the 40th anniversary of the ITN Media Network was held today. The Hindu religious activities were held at the Sri Venkateshwara Mahavishnu Murthy Temple at Nevimala in Dehivala. CEO of the ITN, Rasanga Haris Chandra, DGM of Tamil Programs, M. Kulendran, and several other ITN officials were present at the program. A press conference has been convened at the official residence of the Australian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka to educate on illegal human trafficking. Minister of Home Affairs of Australia, Peter Dutton, speaking at the press briefing, highlighted that no illegal migrants from Sri Lanka will be allowed to enter into Australia. Australian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka, David Hawley, was also present at the event.
All of us were horrified by the dreadful attacks on Sri Lankans and those people who were affected, the 258 who tragically lost their lives and 500 people who were injured otherwise, and very quickly we offered support to the Sri Lankan government, worked very closely, particularly through the Australian Federal Police, but through our agencies otherwise, coordinated by the High Commissioner here in Sri Lanka, and I really do pay tribute to the work of the Australian Federal Police. So up to 20 officers in total were able to complement those already on the ground here in Colombo, and we provided assistance in terms of the investigation, in terms of forensic analysis, and providing support in a number of other ways to the Sri Lankan authorities. So that there is a very much embedded in the culture between our two organisations, the Federal Police, our intelligence agencies, etc., with their counterparts, and our very close working relationship with the Sri Lankan government means that anybody that attempts to come by boat will be rapidly returned back to Sri Lanka, and they'll be without the money that they've paid the people smuggler. So they'll be in a worse position when they return, which is incentive, I think, for people not to pay money and not to engage with people smugglers, because people smugglers are criminals and they are lying if they tell you that you can get to Australia.
Colombo Mayor Rosie Senanayake says 100,000 saplings will be planted before the end of this year in the mission to make Colombo a green city. Rosie Senanayake was speaking at a tree planting ceremony held in Colombo. The event has been organized to mark the World Environment Day that falls tomorrow. Addressing the gathering, the mayor highlighted that the government will take strong action against terrorism. She also highlighted that no group of innocent people will be discriminated under the guise of terrorism. She stated that hatred being spread by social media would never serve for good purposes. In more local news, Minister Naveen Dissanayake says a political conspiracy is underway to disarray the country. The minister was speaking at a media briefing that was organized by the Communication Division of the Prime Minister's office. He added that the conspirators are trying to flame communal conflicts between Muslim and Sinhala communities till the presidential election. He explained that the situation in the country was controlled by the government soon after the Easter Sunday attack. The minister highlighted that after 3 weeks, the country's reconciliation was shattered by some subversive factions. He also said that the suspects of the Minuangoda and Kurunagal incidents were taken into custody within 24 hours. He noted that though some elements levelled allegations against the government, measures had been taken to ensure country's normal life within a shorter period of time. Now, Minister Dayagamage says 2 new lotteries will be introduced to initiate a program to construct 331 housing units per month.
The minister was speaking at a function that was held in Kaluthura to grant title certificates to Samurdhi beneficiaries. The government has embarked a program to provide Samurdhi benefit to 600,000 low-income people island-wide. Dayagamage highlighted that to get rid from vicious circle of debts, it is compulsory to increase production in the country. He also stressed that by increasing the volume of exports, more foreign income can be generated to slash debt burden. The minister said that new lottery program will commence at divisional secretariat level from this month. Addressing the gathering, Deputy Minister Palitha Thevaraperuma said that it is comparative to think of the future of the country. He stated that petty political differences should be set aside and people should engage in nation-building mission.
Non-Cabinet Minister Sujiva Senasinghe says the Ravana 1 satellite will enter the space on the 17th of this month. He was speaking at a media briefing held at his ministry. The satellite has been constructed with the nanotechnology. The government has spent 21 million rupees for the project. The project is carried out as a concerted effort of Japan, Sri Lanka and Nepal. The minister highlighted that Shilpa Sena program will be implemented island-wide from the 18th of this month. The inaugural program will be held at the BMICH. He emphasized that it is compulsory to bring the country into normalcy. 2 suspects have been arrested by the police for transporting deer meat in the pretext of transporting dairy milk. The meat had been transported in tanks that were used to store milk. The raid has been conducted by the beat wildlife officers of Navagathegama based on a tip-off received. The 2 suspects were arrested with 25 kilograms of deer meat. The vehicle and firearm that had been used to hunt the animals were also seized by the wildlife officers. Meanwhile, State Minister V. Radhakrishna presided over the opening of the newly built administrative unit and 3-story building of the Ginigathena Central College that was constructed at cost of 38 million rupees. The newly built statue of former Education Minister Dr. C.W.W. Kannangara was also unveiled at the school premises. A tree planting program was held in Vellankulam under the guidance of 61st Army Brigade. Brigadier Jayampati Tilakaratna and several other senior army officials were present at the event. A range of programs are being carried out under the Gamperelia Development Program island-wide. The Golf Fort, a World Heritage, is being renovated with the support from the World Bank. The development activity has been implemented by the Ministry of Megapolis and Western Province Development. The expenditure of the project has been calculated as 217 million rupees. The golf fort, spanning to 94 acres, is the home for 2,500 people. Meanwhile, a number of roads in the Ratnapura district were upgraded under the Gamperelia Development Program. Newly renovated roads were vested with the public under the patronage of Deputy Minister Karunaratna Paranavithana. Let's now take a look at the very latest in the business arena.
Sri Lanka's Thalawakele Tea Estates has begun trials on a new revenue sharing model with workers on estates in an effort to raise productivity. Under this model, it is proposed to assign some of the estate lands to high achiever workers, and then in turn, block managers will be responsible for field work, including planting and harvesting. The company will supervise and support these workers to see that they adhere to good agricultural practices and work ethics to ensure sustainability of tea fields and maintain leaf quality.
And that is all the news for today. Do join us again tomorrow for the very latest. And in the meantime, do visit our website www.itnnews.lk for the very latest at home and overseas. For the Prime TV News team, I'm Abrar Abid. A very good evening and take care.